Attention!
Your Holiness, may I politely raise a question? How would you assess your seemingly dramatic but calculated involvement in the Lokpal protest by Anna Hazare and later Baba Ramdev? So, I mean, people like me in the media everywhere feel that the presence of Your Holiness is much sublime and greater than these individuals which I just mentioned. How would you, just looking back and reassess?
You know, corruption is a very big issue, and every day we deal with thousands and thousands of people, and they tell their stories of how for small things that they need to bribe, and huge amount of money is being siphoned in corruption, in black money. So we keep hearing these stories, and you know that the trauma that people undergo, because on one hand their conscience doesn't allow them to give them bribe, but without giving bribe their work doesn't get done. So I think it's important for every single Indian to stand up against corruption. If we root out this menace called corruption, our country will be in a much better place. So two things I always been speaking against: crime and corruption. So I stood against these two things very strongly, and of course India against corruption when we started making this movement, and I was one of the founder members, and Anna Hazare and of course other people, many other intellectuals were part of this. But I am not for people who blame each other and just go on the blame game, and no, it has to be done apolitically and with a very strong intention to better the society, not just accuse somebody else. And that has been my intention, and I kept myself limited to the goal.
In a way, Your Holiness has offered quite an interesting proposal to the Marxists of Kerala and elsewhere, of course, that if they leave it to Your Holiness, you can market Marxism very well, better than them. What was exactly
that
in your mind?
was in a lighter way. It's you know, we think marketing is very bad. Marketing is not cheating. If marketing and cheating are synonymous, I would say I would never do that. If marketing means making people aware of something that exists which they do not know, answer that is needed, very much needed.
The leader of the Nair Service Society, or NSS, Mr. Sukumaran Nair, said that, we are thinking to replace Brahmin pujaris who are performing pujas in NSS run temples. So we are going to appoint Nair pujaris. How would you respond to this?
You know, even our Shastra says, Janmana jayate shudra karmana dvija uchyate. When someone starts performing and has learnt Vedas and the puja systems properly, they become Brahmin. But they have to live that type of lifestyle. They could be priests from every community, there is no problem about it, but they need to undergo the training. Nairs and Menons have always been taking care of big temples, Varmas have been taking care of temples, and priests were given the job to worship. Now they also have a right to do their job. So if you take away them from their job, where will they go? You know, Nambudris don't build their own temples. Usually they go and do pujas other temple.
Now the great Shabarimala pilgrimage season is nearing the completion with Magaravilak very near on 14th of this month. So, Your Holiness might have noticed this unmanageable crowd of millions. Have you any suggestion to manage big crowd?
You know, you must follow the arrangements that Tirupati makes. Tirumala Tirupati, in Andhra, Tirumala Tirupati, the way they manage the crowd, the way arrangements are made is excellent. You do not even find 1/10 of such an arrangement here in Sabarimala. I think the government should take a very active, proactive role and strong step to make arrangements for pilgrims, because there is not proper sanitation and it pollutes the environment, and then you need proper staying accommodation, sanitary arrangement, water, you know, and food and queue and everything. I think the Tirumala Tirupati has shown an example how you can handle millions of people. Though they come, they come in Brahmotsavam, millions of people come, but they managed the crowd very well and kept the environment so clean. And Sabarimala can definitely rise up to that occasion, and because it has resources, and government can take a very proactive role and do these facilities which are so much needed.
If your moment's expertise and Your Holiness guidance are sought by the government of Kerala, how would you respond to
I am
that?
always ready to give any sort of help, any sort of guidance, any time.
Thank you very much
Thank you.
for this precious time amidst your busy schedule in Kerala. Wish you a very happy 2030.
Thank you.
Your Holiness, Pranam again.